Hey guys, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Today I got something special for you. And if you read the title, then you already know.
Whoa! Is that a Supra?
That's right, it's a Toyota Supra. Now this mod looks great. It has a bunch of options for this car, even a target top which you can see, and everything's proportionate. Spoiler looks good, glass looks good. Yeah, I didn't clean up the rims before this, but this one's not my car. That one is. But we'll get into that one later. For now, let's look into this one.
Hey, pop the hood. Pop the hood? Pop the hood.
Now, focusing on the good stuff, it does have an inline 6, and it's got the really nice 2JZ valve cover, as well as some cute little details such as a hood strut rod and a horn. The bad side, the only inline 6 in the game is carbureted, so you don't have the option of a turbocharged motor, and the struts stick right through the chassis. It's not to say this is a bad mod, and this is the lit edition. It makes a crazy amount of horsepower stock, whereas mine over there might not have the strut issue, and definitely makes less horsepower, but let's get this thing up on the hoist and see what it looks like underneath. Starting at the front of the Supra, we have an intercooler on a naturally aspirated engine. Typically, you only find those on turbocharged variants, but I have seen some guy with a Civic have a cold air intake on the side of an intercooler going to the motor, so feasible, yes. Practical, probably not. Moving on, the strut is still squished. Now, I get its packaging with the mod, but it still kind of bites to have this in there. There is a couple other issues that I've found only with rear-wheel drive mods so far. And it's that both the power steering rack and the front crossmember go right through the engine. Again, unavoidable due to collision mechanics and like the overall sizing of the Supra. The motor's not actually this tall and the pan's custom would go around all this. But I digress. Another downside is, this is it for the exhaust. You have two manifolds, this downpipe, and nothing else. There are exhaust tips that are customizable, whether you want two, one, a big fat tip, whatever. But for actual engine running wise, this is it. Moving on to the rear end, everything clears nicely, no issues here, just like a lot of the other mods, so I'll give credit where it's due. It's laid out pretty nice, it's just a couple things hit here and there. Moving on to the interior, they've done a phenomenal job. From the gauges to how the dash wraps right around the driver's seat, and you know it had to be right-hand drive because JDM life. It even has accurate door cards, and if you get the target top, you can see what's actually above you. Now, I don't like the texture of the dash. I don't know if it's just like my settings in games, but I've had a few dashes like this, and I mean, it is what it is. Customization wise, you can change the front two seats and the steering wheel, but the steering wheel is only a replacement, so this is the only wheel you get, but at the same time, why would you want to switch it for another one? This one looks pretty awesome. Now on my base model interior, or lack thereof, it has the hardtop and you can't see through it. On the 240 mod, they did have an issue where it didn't have a sunroof, yet you looked up, you could see through a sunroof. It was a little bit weird, but this one doesn't have that issue, so that's a plus. And even with the lack of engine in here, the struts don't poke through, so I guess with the lit edition being lower, that's why the struts poke through the body. So again, not a bad mod. Customization wise, there's a lot here, but there's only one engine cover, one steering wheel or clamshell as you want to call it, and one option for front fenders, but you got quite a lot of bumpers, hoods, headlights, taillights, exhaust tips, wings, side skirts, even trunks to choose from. Yeah, there's three, so you have the basic Toyota Supra one, the Toyota Supra with the TRD, or a complete badge delete if that's your fancy. Paint and vinyl wise, there's no vinyls for this car unfortunately. Hopefully someone makes one for it, because I think that'd be really sweet. Even if it's just another Fast and Furious vinyl, it'd be a nice option. Paint wise, you can still paint individual parts if you want to, and I will when I get rid of all the rust and everything. But it's a really cool mod, and if you guys want to see me actually do a build on this, let me know, or I'll just build it in private and not post it. Anyways, why don't we see how it drives? For what should be very obvious reasons, I'm not in my car because it won't start, but I will say, the gauge is working as a plus, but the steering wheel doesn't turn when you turn, which kinda bites, but is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.